Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit, and it says, am I the arsehole here for seeing Hamilton without my friend because she was late? A little backstory. My friend Lisa is always late, and I would understand if she had a busy job, kids, or even pets, but she doesn't. She's usually late because she's texting, watching TV, taking her time to get ready, or something else not important. A few months ago, she was over an hour late to meet me for lunch because she saw that some store was having a sale and just had to look around. The other week, she scored tickets to see Hamilton. It's been sold out in my town for a while. I really wanted to see it but figured it was impossible. When she invited me, I was over the moon. We had to leave by 5 in order to get to the theater on time, 6 at the very latest. She was going to drive there, but I had to drive to her place. The play started at 7. Since I know how she is, I went to her place at 4. She was taking a nap on the couch. She got up when I was there and began shuffling around. She went to the kitchen and began making herself some food. I told her, hey, why don't you get dressed? I'll watch your meal. She told me not to worry, we had plenty of time. She began eating around 4:15 and finished around 4:40, the whole time looking up things on her phone. I kept pushing her to hurry up because we should leave soon. She laughed and said, okay. I figured if we left by 5:15, things would be fine. Around 5, however, I went to her bathroom to check on her, but I didn't see her. She was in her room painting her nails. I told her we didn't have time. She said, oh sure we do, plays never start on time. She also told me, besides I have to stop for gas first and drop something off to my mum's place before going to the play. I wanted to cry. I was going to miss Hamilton because of her. Then I noticed the tickets on the fridge. I grabbed mine and headed to the theater. It's a 40-minute drive with traffic, but I made it with 20 minutes to spare. When I arrived to the theater, she texted me, ready, I can't find you. She thought I was still at her house. I explained that I didn't want to be late for the play and that I would see her soon. The first half was amazing. I was having a blast. Lisa arrived right before the second half. She was upset with me because I left her. She said they were her tickets and I should have waited for her, but she arrived over an hour late. Am I the arsehole here for seeing the play without her? Edit. I told her by text that I was taking the ticket, but she didn't read it. Edit 2. She won the ticket. Edit 3. As a thank you, I made her dinner. She loves my cooking and requested that after I offered to give her some money for the tickets, even though they were free to her. And wow, thanks for the silver and gold. I know I was a jerk for just taking the tickets, but I also know she would have made us late. She saw the original show a few years back in New York, so I think she wasn't pressed for time. Now, this is a not the arsehole to me, and my anxiety was through the roof as I was reading that. She invited you knowing that you was desperate to see it, and then she's like wandering, like you said, shuffling around, casually painting her nails when you're begging her to leave, knowing that's going to take you a long time to get there. And even though theatre shows that I've been to sometimes do run 10-15 minutes late, can you imagine being that person who comes in late and has to shuffle to their seat, getting everyone up? Oh, no thank you. I know it happens accidentally sometimes, but bloody hell. But in the end in this one, she wasn't respecting your time. You showed up an hour early, gave all the warnings like you said, texted her that you was leaving, and I think you absolutely made the right call. And you didn't throw away your shot. Oh, I had to get that in. All About a Bird says, not the arsehole. I have anxiety just reading about your friend dawdling around and making you late. She sounds like someone who deliberately wastes other people's time to make everything about her. Sure, they were her tickets, but there was no added benefit to you both missing the first half. Opie says, I wanted to cry when I saw her sleeping. No Carb Left Behind says, not the arsehole. I've ended friendships with people who are always late. I had a friend who was angry with a group of us for not waiting for her to order and eat at a restaurant because she was only an hour late. Being late all the time is extremely disrespectful. Like their time is more valuable than yours. And it's Hamilton. You shouldn't have to wait for it. Sorry, I'll show myself out. Opie says, lol, it was an amazing show. She watched the second half, but kept using her phone. She was group texting our friends about what I did to her. Another commenter says, wow, texting through a show. She should have gotten thrown out. She keeps becoming more and more of an arsehole by the second. Opie says she was told to put the phone away. Commenter says, not the arsehole. I'm a last minute Lucy too, but you better believe I left my house 2 hours early for Hamilton. I was going into New York City, and you never know what the traffic situation will be, and I knew it was sold out, so there would be a lot of people at the theatre. We did end up being early, so we just had a coffee at a restaurant nearby until the theatre started letting people in. So worth it. Lisa is crazy. Opie says that was the original plan. Get there an hour ahead, grab food. I was surprised she cooked a meal while I was there, and take pictures. But Opie did give us a brief update on the back of that one, saying, today I decided to reach out to her. I called her, and as soon as she answered, she started yelling at me. I waited for her to stop, and then I told her that I apologized for the incident and that I would love to meet up with her or that she could come over to my home. She then remarked that she didn't want to see me or my family. She referred to my middle child, my child that classes her as auntie and loves her, that has autism, as the R word, and told me to never contact her again. What the hell was that reaction? It seemed Lisa just showed you who she really is right then. Using a slur against your autistic child is fucking madness. So not only was this woman happy to waste your time for years by the sounds of it, she's also cruel enough to say that about one of your children in an argument because of her own lateness that was caused by her. What an absolute arsehole. And I hope, in some ways, I know it's not my life, but if anyone like that ever came back into my life after what they said, I'd never be able to forgive them again. Block that person's number, enjoy the memory of that show, and never look back, because that show is incredible. I want to see it again. It's absolutely amazing. But now I'm going to turn the situation to you guys. What do you guys think of this one? I know it's difficult because sometimes you have to be in the room when it happens, but let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. I'll get my coat. Now our next story comes from Scene Queen 2009 and says, am I the arsehole for spending my life savings $7,200 on an arse job plastic surgery when my daughter needed brand new school supplies? 33-year-old here for reference. Last year, my longtime boyfriend dumped me. We have a 7-year-old child together, and I began making the circuit on the bar scene. Had some casual hookups, but no one seemed like marriage material. Seemed to be too interested, and I was also striking out on all dating apps. After months of this, I began to grow disheartened and lose confidence, which is when I started to research augmenting my buttocks. I'm not a supermodel or anything, but I like to think I'm decently attractive. However, my backside has always been the part of my body I am most self-conscious about. I had a consultation with a doctor who went over the operation, and I decided to have BBL as well as 1,100cc implants placed overinflated to 1/150, which is a standard industry practice for those who don't know. The final cost, everything included, was to be about $7,200, which was all of the funds in my savings, plus dipping into my checking for a few hundred, which isn't a huge deal for me. I had to make some spending adjustments, cancel a few subscriptions, and overall be a lot more financially cautious. But my daughter wouldn't go hungry or without heat. The surgery went off without a hitch, and I received the augmentation. Fast forward about 6 weeks, and I'm still healing, but mostly healed. Last week, my daughter came home from school with a note from her teacher saying that her class is collecting school supplies such as markers, glue sticks, tissues, etc. There was a laundry list of supplies of about 20 items. I did the math, and the supplies would come out to around $65. The note said each student was required to bring these supplies, in which really didn't sit right with me, especially because I bought most of these supplies for my daughter at the start of the year. I understand the concept of community supplies or donating supplies for kids in financially difficult situations, but the requirement just really ticked me the wrong way. I told my daughter that we couldn't afford that this month, and I would talk to her teacher about it. I made sure to make it clear that my daughter wouldn't get in trouble for this, and that I would handle it with her teacher. And yes, spending this extra $65 would have placed significant financial burden on us for this month's food budget. Fast forward to yesterday, and Grandma, my mum, come over and is watching with my daughter while I get some chores done. I've fallen a bit behind on chores from resting up from the operation. My mum said she was taking my daughter to the store, and I said that was fine. They came back an hour later with 2 bags full of school supplies and my daughter wearing a brand new backpack. I was understandably a bit angry and confused and privately talked to my mum in the other room. For background, I always give my mum my debit card when she goes to the store to buy groceries for my house because she is on a tight budget and can only maintain herself. I figured she was going to the store to buy food for my daughter for the rest of the week, which she does often, which is why I didn't think anything of it. Turns out my mum saw the note from school and took my daughter out to get the items using my card. I explained to my mum that I told my daughter that we couldn't afford to contribute to the supplies. My mum said that my daughter told her about what I said, but she decided to take her out anyway. She said it was ridiculous that I spent so much money on my augmentation and that it wasn't fair to send my daughter to school as the only one without contributing supplies. She also said my daughter had been using the same backpack for over 3 years and it's stained and torn, and I should be ashamed for not buying her a new one. I was honestly pretty pissed at her accusations and told her that how I spend my savings is none of her damn business. I told her that my daughter had her own perfectly good school supplies and that a 7-year-old doesn't need a brand new backpack every year or two, especially because I know she is just going to get it dirty with goldfish dust and dirt at school. Her backpack was fine and just had some normal wear and tear. My mum told me I need to get my priorities straight and that I'm not setting a good example as a mother. I told her that the money is already spent and we are already committed to a tighter budget for the next months, but that my daughter wouldn't want for anything and that our budget is absolutely none of her damn business. I've been thinking about this all day and I'm getting more flustered and angry the more I think. So am I the arsehole, or is my mum overreacting and getting involved in something that's not her business? Oof. Now, I totally get that Opie's mum hugely overstepped using the card. She's in the wrong on that, absolutely, but I don't think she's wrong to be worried in this situation as well. It sounds like Opie spent their entire safety net, if you like, on cosmetic surgery, and now, $65, is it dollars or pounds? Either way, is creating like a burden on your food budget. It's just not sustainable, is it? Especially when you got a kid as well. And I don't think the backpack or the supplies are really the issue. It's just that you're one unexpected expense away from serious trouble. And I'm just trying to relate in some way. Like, this month for me has been absolute chaos. My car's gone twice now. It was fixed and it's gone again. It's on the drive and absolutely in bits. Boilers had to be replaced this month. But I'm just thinking in terms of, the kid, that they need stability more than that procedure. And don't get me wrong, I think if you want to get cosmetic surgery in any way, shape or form, that's on you. But I think you need to be in the place to do that, but not when it could put you in serious trouble if something does go wrong. Just going to give you some of the comments from the actual commenters themselves. Opie did reply, but dearie me, they were negative replies to say the least. One commenter says, "You're the arsehole for getting butt implants, period, but also $7,200. What about a college fund earning interest for your child? Your mother was right about you." Commenter says, "This cannot be real. No way a genuine mother is coming asking if she's an arsehole because of blowing all your money on a pointless surgery when your child is in need. Get the fuck out." Blue Green says, "You're the arsehole. Your story certainly gives us insight into why your boyfriend dumped you. He was smart to do so. It's a shame he had a child with you, but what's done is done. You're a horrible mother. You think honestly you're having so much trouble on the bar circuit because of your ass? Contrary to what women think, men might be into BBLs for one night stands, but it does not factor into what they want in a long-term partner. Most of the men I know would think it was a net negative right along with vampire nails, spider lashes, and Tammy Faye makeup." And one more commenter who says, "You're the arsehole. You should be ashamed of your actions. You spent $7,200 to get your bum done, but couldn't spend $65 on your daughter's school supplies. Lady, your priorities are completely backwards. An education for your child is a priority, not your vanity because you broke up and needed a confidence boost. What are you to do if there's an emergency? Or better yet, that money could have gone to a college fund for your child. Time is not on your hands. Before you know it, that little girl will be 18, go into college, and unfortunately you chose your vanity above all else. You owe your daughter an apology for your selfish actions, but hey, at least you got your new ass. So the comments were just pretty much like that all the way through, and OP did come back in with an update and said, so it's been a month since I last posted. Thank you all for the replies to my last post. Despite the many toxic commenters and miserable people spewing vile hate, there were some constructive comments, and I want to thank those commenters for that. The feedback, as well as some talks with my mother, have given me a lot to think about, and I've come to the conclusion that the operation was a selfish mistake, and I regret it. I'm up late at night imagining how my daughter will view this incident once she gets a little older, and the things she will think. My implants will serve as a constant reminder to my daughter of the mistakes I made. It will also be a reminder to myself of my guilt and my mistakes. That is why I've decided to remove my implants. I've spoken to a doctor about the costs and risks associated with a removal procedure once I was sure it was the right decision. It was explained to me that for the removal to be safe and successful as it can possibly be, the sutures have to completely heal before you can go back in and remove the implants. This will minimize scarring as well as a risk of infection or similar complications following the procedure. The cost of the operation will be in the ballpark of $4,500, including anesthesia and all. I paid a deposit for the operation on a credit card, knowing full well that I would have no problem making the payments and paying it off. Oh, dearie me. My implants have fully healed and all, but fully dropped, and I'm scheduled to receive the operation in 2 weeks. In this time of reflection, I've also been dating a wonderful man who loves me, implants or not, and we're approaching our 1-month anniversary. I've done some discussions with my daughter following my last post and explained to her how much I love her and that there is nothing more important to me than her. My relationship with my mum is still a little rocky, but I think she's just happy I'm getting the implants removed. She is set to drive me to my operation and has not made any more hateful comments since I told her of my decision to remove them. I'm hoping to repair this relationship as time goes on. My daughter is young enough that she won't remember this episode and will hopefully be nothing more than a bad memory for me a few months down the line. Thank you to those who took the time to read and be constructive, not hateful. Have a nice week. Bloody hell, OP almost gave me whiplash in that update. I mean, I was reading it at first and at the very beginning of it, I was like, okay, she's reflected, seems to be learning, and I had conversations with her daughter. Things seems to be looking up. And then it was like, and I'm getting the procedure reversed at the cost of $4,000 something. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I mean, how are they going to be a lesson to the daughter down the road? I just had this image of like maybe them being framed on the wall or something. 2 arse cheek implants just on the wall in the living room. My mistake. Oh, I'm just going to have to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Holy bloody moly. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Our next story comes from ihatemenwhogame, who says, am I the arsehole for getting up and leaving a local gaming tournament after my boyfriend's friends harassed me? And just to give you a warning before we do get into this story, it contains misogyny and sexist abuse at the same time. So if you do want to skip it, likely to be the last story of this video. Totally up to you. And we're getting started now. So I, 21 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 20 male, for 3 years. We got accepted into the same college and both of us tried out for our uni's Valorant team this last school year. Just to let you know, in case you don't know, Valorant is like a 5v5 first-person shooter tactical game. I want to say similar to Counter-Strike, but I might get hate for that. OP continues, I got in, he didn't. This has caused a huge issue in our relationship, but I thought we worked through it. Well, there was a local gaming tournament for Valorant, and my boyfriend begged me to play. First place prize was $1,200. Now, I have been Radiant before. It's the highest rank you can be in the game. Right now I'm sitting a tier below that. My boyfriend's friends were going to join us and are all a little lower rank than me. Well, we got into our bracket today and I carried the hell out of them for 4 matches. Like 30 plus kills each game. But we lost our 5th one. They started making passive aggressive comments at me and I just choked. Well, 6th game comes around and they start making really sexist comments like, damn girls really don't belong in games, huh? Or, did your boyfriend carry you, OP? You are trash. Get back in the kitchen like a good girl. I thought my boyfriend would be mad, but he was just laughing with them. Halfway through our game, one of the boys said, Jesus, remind me to never ask a girl to play with us again. I'm pretty sensitive to that type of stuff and started crying. My boyfriend asked me to stop crying. It was just gamer banter and to just play the game. I told him he could go fuck himself, and I stood up and walked out of the gaming cafe. It's 12 AM now, and my best friend just sent me tweets from a bunch of them and their friends saying shitty things about me and how unprofessional I am. My boyfriend won't even speak to me. He texted me that I embarrassed him. A lot of my online gaming friends are telling me to just apologize and own up to my fault of making them forfeit. My gaming team at my uni is telling me to break up with him and focus on their tournaments and to forget about him. So let me get this straight, that you carried them for 4 games with loads of kills, basically outshone them for all but 1 game. You lost 1 game, and suddenly this is your fault. Then your boyfriend laughs while his mates are telling you to get back to the kitchen. Of course you're not going to be the arsehole in the situation. You just found out what your boyfriend actually thinks. You'd rather their approval than backing up you. And let's face it, they're just mad because you're better than them and it's bruised their little egos. And I think your uni team's got it right. Dump him, focus on the tournaments with people who actually respect you. Because there's no way at all you should be apologizing to people like that. I mean, what the fuck is gaming banter? I've been in games where, you bantered each other, where you're just being playful between people who respect each other, who really respect each other and are good friends. What they did wasn't that at all. Like it said before, your boyfriend doesn't have your back in this. He's not going to have your back, and it's quite that simple. But Vodka Bear says to this, reading this made me sit and think for a second. This is totally like the fucking dream of a ton of gamers out there, but he just fucked it. I'd be hella proud if my girlfriend was better at Valorant than me. Hell, I'd genuinely beg her to carry me, or just watch her play and learn. Not the arsehole whatsoever. Also drop the person ASAP, and fuck his friends. OP says that's what 2 of the guys on my team said. That it would be a dream to have a cute radiant girlfriend, and they don't understand why he hated that I got in so much. I've been texting them a lot throughout this week, and I think we're going to make a game plan for the breakup together, so I don't have to do it alone. Dawntooth says not the arsehole. I've been gaming for 15 years, and have played with all types of people. Not once have I, or the people I've chose to play with, made sexist comments about women. They are terrible people, that's just who they are, and they are showing you that now. Besides, I have a feeling that if you guys won the tournament, they would have to come up with a reason why you should get an uneven split of the prize money. Loopy says I didn't even think about this. I don't remember talking to them about splitting with me at all. I was always left out of that conversation. Oh my god, why was I so blind? And edits, wow, I was not expecting this type of response. A sweet guy on my team said to 1v1 him tomorrow, and if I lose, he gets to send the breakup text. Lol, thanks for opening my eyes. I really should have ended this relationship the moment he wasn't happy for me when I got in. Thanks, loves. And a final edit/update says, so I broke up with him. I won the 1v1, lol, so we did it in person with my friends outside the dorm room. My team was there to support me, and they all made sure I was okay and safe. A really kind Riot employee gifted me a Riot gun buddy, and I'm very happily going to be showing it off during the tournament this weekend. Thanks for helping me see this wasn't the type of behavior I should put up with. And to all the men in my DMs angry and upset, I finally have the courage to say this. Fuck you, I'm better than you, so stop sending me angry and creepy messages. I might update this in a week and let you all know what happened during the breakup and how our tournament goes. Ex-boyfriend was very, very mad, but I'm the winner here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Commenter says not the arsehole. Man, I wish I was Radiant and Valorant. In all seriousness, your boyfriend went too far. I'm glad you broke up with him and Riot gave you a free skin. Can we watch you play in a tournament? Opie says I'm still deciding this, as I'm a little hesitant to have people know where I'm located. I've got a lot of creepy guys in my DMs. I'm a little paranoid my social media accounts are going to get found, or these guys will know what town I live in, since the tournaments are through my college and gaming cafes. But if I decide it's safe, I will gladly share. I could maybe make a little highlight edit and blur out the names. Commenter says, honestly, I hope you send him a link to this post, OP. OP says he's already seen it. A friend of his sent it to him. I got a slew of angry texts. Just absolutely good on OP in this situation. It seems like she's got a proper team now who actually values her skills over fragile egos. And and the commenters below this sharing their own experiences within gaming, and the fact that, you know, this is still such a common experience these days is absolutely grim. But it sounds like in some ways OP has found her people, and absolutely good on her. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Yeah, man, I remember being so naive when life was good, weather and palm trees. Back in the day, you were everything I need. But then along came a time when you crushed my dreams. Oh yeah, you played me like a fool when you made me believe that the line between love wasn't thick enough to read. Oh yeah, you see we in despair, crime everywhere. You're selling false hope cause you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care. Nah,